As an artist, one never knows where one's vision is going to take them. Or sometimes you do, but we tend to work ad hoc. We are suddenly awoken during the middle of the night with these visions of what we're going to do next, what our next projects are.
I looked at my arms, and through the perspiration dripping down from my forehead, I could see my arms glistening with sweat. It wasn't vile, it was pretty amazing, and then, as my eyesight became clearer once the sweat dispersed, I looked down at my groin area, because I could feel something throbbing so powerfully it felt like I was going to burst. Something down below was pulsating with blood, and again it felt amazing.
But for me as a writer, it's not as black and white as having to sit down in front of your computer to come out with all of these wonderful lines, whether they're dialogue or whether it's for a book, the book I've just written, Magic, Sex and Tricks. It's not a case of sitting down and disciplining yourself, although sometimes you find that you do have to, otherwise you won't be able to utilise the time you have to put into the project. And sometimes it just comes on you during the night, in the middle of the night, which is why I keep a pen and paper the old traditional way. I tend to prefer traditional ways sometimes.
Now my eyesight had really come back, and there it was in the flesh, or at least in the flesh of the etherworld. I had miraculously developed a penis, and it was feeling extraordinarily good.
But it really is a case of having to grab the moments when they come to, and having to, quickly get back to the workstation to implement what you've just come up with. It's so flipping hot in here. Can't we have the fan? I've had a few films entered at festivals, but I think that the most amount of notoriety that I got was on platforms such as YouTube, Vimeo, MySpace, his space, her space, our space, and all those other social forums, social platforms, social media platforms. I can't keep up with them these days. Now there's Snapchat, isn't there, which I believe is for people to do woolly shots and fanny shots. I keep up on the social media, FB and all of those fan pages which I have, just to basically reintroduce myself or introduce myself again to existing followers. And I find that it's great because I hear critique and opinions from the horse's mouth, from the general public, and it's not all about money. Yes, I could have pushed myself with the vehemence and really gone for the jugular, I guess, but there's too much red tape. It's too terribly boring of all the bullshit and bureaucracy that one has to go through just to get a film made these days. I had some Botox 2 days ago, but I'm still sweating like a glass below his arse, so it's not really working yet, I assume. So I find that this is much more rewarding. It's much more, authentic and cuts out the middleman and all that poxy bureaucratic crap. I can't even speak. I've had one too many. I was so surprised because a couple of my films just suddenly went viral in the beginning, back in 2012 and 13, and it was just amazing because I'd never seen my films being viewed and commented about and liked so much, and it's so awe-inspiring, and it was just fantastic. It was prodigious. I was not speaking American, trying to. Oh, okay. But I think if you rewind the tape, you'll find that I didn't.
I was just about to put my hand around it, but Father Fry suddenly disturbed me by calling out, "There's no need for you to do that. I'm here for you. I'm at your mercy, and you can command me to do whatever you want."
I will sit and I'll write. in a beautiful scenic environment. And if it so happens that I'm inspired to write something from something I've seen, something I've felt, something I've listened to, then my mind can just wander into all different types of reveries and dimensions, and there's no stopping me. But I do have to have a little break every now and then, and what I do is I just have a little mad half an hour to some banging music, and that tends to just put everything in perspective for me. There's no real profound answer to where one gets their inspiration and their magic from. It's just, you either got it or you haven't, I think. You can embellish what you've got in many ways, and it takes a lot of hard work to keep coming up with new ideas, new projects, but
I leaned towards him, and he began to mildly hyperventilate. I wasn't concerned because he was okay, and his excitement was only too prominent.
If you have a creative, visionary mind, I think something will come to you no matter what you do. It's just a case of when.
I may have been inside the body of Matthew, but in that distinctively unique session, I owned everything. He had the cutest pert butt for a man. Matthew's was nice, but this butt was smaller and more chiseled. It was like a Michelangelo painting or a sculpture.